Hi larpers, welcome to my kitchen. I thought I'd do a video to show you how to get started if you wanted to do makeup in the field. We're having a very crafty weekend as we can't have Moot 1, so I thought I would use my sets of skills to show you how you can do a bit of makeup just to bring something new to a character. I'm going to show you in this video how I go from this to this. Scary, I know. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through step by step what makeup I do, how I do it. The look I'm going to do is not actually something I've done in the field yet. Depending on how it works out, it might be seen later this year if we get to play or not, or it might be next year, or I might not do it at all, but who knows. So the first things to think about if you've never done makeup before is what sort of makeup you're going to use. There is water-based, there's cream-based, there's lots of different brands from Cryolan to right the way down to Snazaroo. What I will say about Snazaroo is if you've got sensitive skin, don't even think about it. It's not the best for your skin. I'm lucky I can get away with it. If you do use Snaz though, it will stain if you're not careful. So in the video I'll show you some tips on making sure that's reduced to the smallest amount possible. What I will do now is I will get changed, because when you put makeup on you want something that you don't mind getting dirty, and we'll be back in a second. So my first top tip is get an old t-shirt and cut the neck out of it, because it gives you plenty of room to get it on and off without knocking any of the makeup off. If your kit hasn't got a wide neck or anything, maybe get into kit first so that it doesn't smudge, because there's nothing worse than working on a face and then ruining it. The other thing I would suggest you get is an old towel you don't mind getting dirty, because this makeup will go everywhere. You'll have to bear with me because my mind goes on CD shuffle when I'm doing makeup, and I'll try and keep as much order as I can, but I can't guarantee anything. Right, where to start? Wet wipes, a larper's best friend. Make sure your face is as sweat and grease free as humanly possible. I know that's not always easy, especially when it comes to the Sunday or the Monday, but try and get as much of a clean base as you can. Oh. Right, I'm going to use some tips and tricks that I learned from my years in drag. So in that look that you saw, there was no eyebrows. Obviously I've got eyebrows, so we get rid of them with drag queen's old friend, Pritt Stick. Always use a cheap one because it comes off easier. Layer of Pritt Stick, powder. Powder, 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 powder. Any setting powder will do. At a push for the field, you can even use talcum powder. It doesn't make a difference. As long as you get those eyebrows stuck down, if you're going to need to cover them. Obviously, most people won't be going for a covered eyebrow look, but if you do, this is how you do it. Pat it down, pat it down. You are going to have to be quite rough with your face, because otherwise they won't stick. One coat. It's going to be a long, sweaty Saturday at the gathering, and the sun's going to be belting down on Loco. So another coat, just to try and make sure there's no cracking, it doesn't break, and it can hold up. Because hopefully the makeup I'm going to do, once it's all finished and set, will actually last all of the wonderful microclimates that we have in Loco. So, ooh, that looks nice and stuck down. So, first tip, if you're using Snaz, get yourself any primer. Any primer, doesn't matter. And absolutely slather it on the areas you're going to be putting the Snaz on. If you think you put too much on, you need to put a bit more, believe me, because snaz will just absolutely stick to your skin. Most water-based makeups are supposed to come off easily. It's a fallacy, they don't. Not one of them will come off that easily. So the more you can do to protect your skin over the weekend, the better. Get everything nice and set and dry. Right, so now we go to a little trick, another barrier for snaz, a bit of concealer over the eyebrows and the area you're going to be putting the snaz. Draw it on like that. And then with a mirror, which I've not got handy, hold on 1 second, bear with me, I'll be back. So the other important thing is to be prepared, because usually you don't have that long to get ready. So things like remembering to keep your mirror near hand is helpful. So you just rub that round so there's no harsh lines anywhere. And believe me, this really does help keep the snaz from sticking to your skin. That'll do. So now we go in with our trusty snaz in a lovely green, which for my character is very important because it's one of his ancestors, and he has a very interesting relationship with ancestors, shall we say. But right, we just dab it all on. More. The best thing to do, I found, is practice at home what you want, how you want it to look, get a good idea of what you want to do. But then when you get to a field, don't worry too much if it doesn't pan out the way you planned. Just see what happens while you're in there, because anyone that has seen me or knows my character, he looks different every day. Every single day he looks completely different. And why not? Why be stuck with one look? It's your character. Let nobody tell you what's fun and what's right or what's wrong with the character. That's one eye done. We go to the other eye. So I'm just using a sponge and some water and just tapping it in. This is not makeup to rock the runway with. This will never be beautiful, stunning, because you're in a field, it's not easy to do it, and it ain't gonna last looking amazing. But as long as you're happy and you don't end up with runs down your face like that, better. And as I said, wet wipes are your friend, because things do go wrong, go too far, and they need touching up. Now, for some reason, my eyebrows aren't covering properly, but these things happen. I wonder why that is. Never mind, doesn't matter. Does not matter. So that's the green on. Now, what you need to do, if you're working in different watercolours like I am, is let the first colour dry before you go in with the second colour. So we're going to let this dry for a minute or two. Right, now that's dried and I've changed the mirror so that I don't have to hold it with one hand, which makes more sense. I'll go on to the next stage. Now, when I'm using black, the one thing I never use with Snazaroo because I really don't think you get a good black colour. So I'm going to go on to the next part, which we'll do in fast forward because it's going to take a while and you'll get bored just sat there watching me. Okay, I'm going to crack on. Oh, just before we do go into fast forward, just a reminder, don't get hung up on everything always looking perfect. It's not going to happen. Things are going to be different. Different things are going to affect it. It really doesn't matter. Just so long as you can get your point across, that's all that really matters. Right, fast forward. Boom, there's one done. Now fast forward into the other one. And that's the black done. It's not quite what I was expecting, but it'll work. Next, glitter. Some people will tell you glitter's for knights or glitter's just for fae. I say stab them in the face, nobody needs that negativity. Glitter goes with everything, and actually on a bright sunny day when you're walking across a field, glitter really does pop, and it'll just add an extra little something to the look. So we will fast forward again while I put the glitter on. Right, that's the glitter on. Now everyone stand back. Because you can't see it that well, I'm going to get close to the camera. You don't want to be too close when I get close, trust me. You see there, you've got all that lovely red over the black. It really does bring it to life. Next top tip, if you really want your black to be black, put your face paint on, black eyeshadow, and just pat the black eyeshadow on top of the black. It'll make it blacker for a start. It'll also help lock it in place. Now, if you're a clumsy so-and-so like me, you end up with black on your face, like I've got there. Big fluffy brush, brush it away. Boom. So that's the look finished. Now, the next tip I'm going to give you, every dermatologist in the world will tell you, do not do this. As a normal thing, I would say do not ever do this. But we all know what Loco's like for its weather. So because all this makeup is water-based, one little bit of rain and your face will be on your chest. So what I do, hairspray. And remember not to breathe when you're doing that, and make sure your eyes are closed. I promise you, if you buy a cheap extra hold hairspray, it will hold the face all day, and even in rain it will stay on. So the only thing left to do now is complete the look by putting the kit on. So I hope I haven't rambled too much, and some of what I've said has made sense and helped. And what we'll go to next is the more important thing of taking it off. So I'll just go get out of this and I'll show you the best ways to remove it all. So it's 2:10. You've just got back to your tent after a very quiet, calm afternoon and evening of absolutely not running around like a lunatic, hitting all the things and drinking all the drinks, because that never happens. And you're just going to want to go to bed. Do not go to sleep in your makeup. You will regret it the next morning. And you're wearing glitter. Glitter will have many, many babies all over your body if you sleep in it. Trust me. So the first thing, we go back to our trusty wet wipe. get all the excess off. You can with a wet wipe. Try and trap as much of that glitter in the wet wipe as you can. It will help. And I've just realised I've got to left my towel somewhere else. So yet again, prepared. I'll be back in a minute. There we go. So you've had a good go with the wet wipe. You've got as much of it off as you can. The next thing, oil. Baby oil is really good for this, and it also helps protect your skin afterwards. I'm using cocoa butter wonder oil at the moment, just because I happen to have some around and I don't have any baby oil. Really get rubbing it right in. And use lots of oil. There's no such thing as too much. Keep on rubbing it and rub everywhere you can. And then the trusty makeup towel, as you can see, this has been used many a time. Go in and rub it all off. And as you can see, I've not actually got any staining from the smaz at all, which I'm quite surprised about. There's usually a little bit. And then the larp is best friend again. A wet wipe, go over, remove all that excess oil from your skin, and you're ready to go to bed. I hope the video has made a little bit of sense and maybe helped somebody who's thinking about it to try a bit of makeup. And if you see me in the field, come say hello.